So, Al, for the first time since week 2, we've got a starting quarterback in Drew Tate.
Yeah, well, very excited to see what he can do, obviously. I mean, he played last week against BC. Did some okay things. Looked a little rusty, I think, too. But, 5 for 7, 68 yards, a touchdown and an interception. I don't know that you could expect much better coming off of, 15 weeks. And considering that nobody really expected him realistically to be back in the lineup this season, that's a moral victory in so many ways. And it'd be, again, interesting to see what he does tonight in Edmonton. He will start the game. He will play the first half. And that'll give John Hufnagel a real good kind of adjudication of where he's at and his availability for the playoffs, if not to start in the playoff semifinal against either Edmonton or Saskatchewan.
But in the second half, we see another quarterback. What do you think of Coach Huff's strategy?
Well, I'm not sure what else he could do. He's got to see both of these guys. He knows what Kevin Glenn could do. He's got to see Drew Tate. He's got to give him a chance to play, get into any kind of rhythm. And I'm not sure that was a realistic outcome of his game plan the other night. It worked, but in terms of seeing what he can do over a sustained period of time, in terms of running the offense, in terms of managing the game, I think it works out fine. And then Kevin Glenn will get a chance to stay sharp in the second half. Maybe we'll even see Bo Levi Mitchell. We'll see.
Clearly, this is a bigger game for the Eskimos, but it's also a big game for John Cornish.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he 50 yards back of Normie Kwong for the record. That has been kind of in his sights for most of this season to break the all-time record for a Canadian running back in a single season. Obviously, coming off some good news on Wednesday, naming as the Football Reporters of Canada voted him as the Stamps nominee for Most Outstanding Player and Most Outstanding Canadian. No real surprise. In the latter, you could have made an argument that maybe Nick Lewis had a chance for that MOP award, but really two good choices, and yeah, John Cornish will be motivated. I'm not sure we'll see him for the full game, but I'm sure John Hufnagel will give him every chance in the first half to go out and get that award, and then we'll see what happens in the second half. Maybe Matt Walter gets some chance to get some significant playing time.
Speaking of awards, there was another award winner this week from the Stampeders.
Yeah, Jon Stewart. That's a real feel-good story, isn't it? I mean, 36, as he described himself as an older, young player, and that's a good description. I think I'll use that for myself, quite honestly. Yeah, Defensive Player of the Week, 4 sacks against the Lions, matches the team record, a new career high for him, which is something considering the career he's had, and a real good addition. Again, that's been the story of this season. The Stamps have been able to find guys and fit them in to roles that work. Jon Stewart, I'm not sure he had a full season in the tank, but this has been a perfect circumstance for him. Go out and play the last few games of a regular season and contribute to a playoff run.
CFL is always interesting come the end of the week. What are you expecting? I mean, the end of the season. What are you expecting tonight?
It's weird, isn't it? I mean, a lot of it depends on what happened Thursday night between Toronto and Hamilton, obviously, but I think, look at it from the Stamps' perspective. I don't think they want to go out and carry a bad, lingering taste into the playoffs. I think they want to go out and execute at a high level. They saw the pitfalls of what happens if you don't last week against the Lions, who clearly did not look like a team that wanted to play that night. I don't think the Stamps will let themselves repeat that mistake.